TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com presents your latest Truman Lake Fishing Intel Expert Roundtable. TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com is your premier resource for up-to-date expert fishing reports and videos to help you find the fish faster and become a better Truman angler. Multi-species coverage includes crappie, catfish, bass, hybrids, and more. View this month's full episode roundtable exclusively at TrumanLakeFishingIntel.com. This month's roundtable is brought to you by Anglers Port Marine. Whether you're a first-time boat owner or a seasoned professional, Anglers Port Marine has an option for you. Conveniently located between Clinton and Warsaw and 7 Highway, stop on in to view top industry boat brands including Phoenix and Low Boats. With their award-winning sales and service, Anglers Port Marine has you covered. 660-438-4600 or learn more at anglersportmarine.com. The Mahoney Real Estate Team, powered by eXp Realty. Introducing Tyler Mahoney, your trusted real estate expert from eXp Realty. With longtime roots in the Truman Lake area, Tyler knows the ins and outs of the many great features our region has to offer. As one of the top-selling real estate agents around the lake, Tyler excels in selling both land and homes, consistently fetching top prices for his clients. What sets Tyler apart? He delivers exceptional service through his professionalism and negotiation while using extensive marketing tools to get the most eyes on your property, including tools that no other agent has available in the entire state of Missouri. For a seamless real estate experience and unparalleled results, contact Tyler Mahoney today. Reach him directly at 816-536-7038. And now, let's start the show.
Boys and girls, we are back again for another edition of the Truman Lake Fishing Intel Expert Roundtable. It is the June 2025 edition. We've had a lot going on in the last month. I've got a great crew of guys with me here tonight. Super fortunate to have them. Over on my right, Sean Bowling from Sean Bowling's Guide Service. Recently started full-time guiding. So he was doing primarily during the week, but he's going to be taking on the weekends now, so it's a really cool announcement for him. Got Jason Smith from Smith's Fishing Adventures here with us tonight. He's been doing some trolling with the cranks for crappie and getting into quite a few different species of fish.
A little of everything.
A little of everything, and then we're very blessed to have Jim Cuda and his grandson JD here with us tonight. Jim has been a hybrid fishing guide here on Truman Lake since the 90s? Early 2000s?
22, 23 years.
Wow, yeah. So he's been around a while. He's boated more fish than most of us could ever hope to see. So we're excited to get the latest updates from him. And JD's going to talk about a little of his fishing background. He just finished up high school, and he's been bass fishing competitively for several years and doing pretty well as a co-angler right now in the BFLs. So we got a BFL coming up on Truman Lake on Saturday. We'll talk a little bit about that. Before we dive into everything, just want to say thank you, all of you guys, for watching. We want to thank Anglers Port Marine for sponsoring these videos. Anglers Port Marine, your premier boat dealer for Phoenix and Low Boats, located on 7 Highway between Clinton and Warsaw. Be sure to check them out at anglersportmarine.com. They got a great selection of not only new boats, but also used boats. They will take care of you from just the sales process. I forget what they call it, the Anglers Port Guarantee, but you will be ready to hit the water as soon as you drive off the lot. So really great dealership to work with if you are in the market and looking for a new boat. As far as the fishing, we're going to get into it. One of the things that we wanted to touch on, so the lake has been really high. We've gotten a lot more rain this year than we had in previous years. Jim, we were just talking, lake's up like what, 714 right now?
714,
almost
9, something like that.
Almost 715.
Wow. And so we were just discussing before we started, there was quite a bit of trash coming down.
A lot of debris coming down the Osage River right now. 1 mile bridge to KK Island was horrible this morning.
Yeah.
A lot of big trees, just lots and lots of debris.
Yeah. And real muddy water along with it as
Muddy
well.
water, yeah.
But where the Osage and Pommy come together, if you make it through that, the Pommy's
pretty clear.
pretty clean.
Yeah, you get around the corner, just past Fairfield, and it's real clean.
Now, I hadn't checked today. Are they starting to crank some water? Are they bringing
they're
it down?
running 5 units
Okay.
today.
So that's, what do we think? So it was just a couple days ago, it was all that stuff was lodged up at that cut through by KK, and now it's down by a mile long. Do we think that's going to make it down to the dam area?
I think a lot of it made it towards the dam today.
Yeah.
The stuff that was between the 1 Mile Bridge and KK Island was gone this evening when we come over here. So.
There's a lot of stuff hung up on the flat there from Shawnee Bend to 03.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff hung up on the flat.
Do a lot of those big trees, how does that work? Do they go through the dam, or do they have to pull those out somehow? Because I know it was a while back, there was, a 20, 30 acre thing of logs that got piled up years ago?
Yeah, when all that debris, all those trees and everything piled up against the dam several years ago, they actually pushed that up on the face of the dam, and they had track holes picking it up and loading it on.
Wow.
Yeah, shoved it up on the rocks, right?
Shoved it on the rocks, and then they were pushing it from there over to the swimming beach, offloading it there, taking it up in the timber.
The fishing below the dam, I'll tell you, a good portion of it goes through.
Yeah.
You know, only the really big stuff, unless it starts getting hung up, will get stuck. But a lot of it just goes right on through.
Yeah.
We fight it right below the dam, past the buoys. So.
Yeah.
I saw a video here recently. I don't know if it was the Corps who shared it or MDC, but it was a video of a diver down on Table Rock. Did you guys see that? And it was showing him going down, and it was like an intake, and it had a bunch of fish carcasses on it, and they have to go down every so often and scrape them off. But the whole video was him going down, and it gets dark and eerie, and of course, he didn't see any of the Volkswagen-sized catfish that I saw.
Every dam has those fish, right?
Yeah, but it was kind of cool, kind of interesting to see just how that plays out. So, anyway, really good to hear the lake updates on that, because very much a hazard to be watching out for. Now, the other thing too, we got the BFL on Saturday, big tournament. Probably going to be 100+ boats, or pretty stinking close.
Pretty close.
So if you're out fishing, you think a lot of folks are going to put in at Truman State Park, and
yeah, due to the long shoal being shut down right now, I think a lot of people are going to be scattered out, putting in the morning, and
it goes out
making their way to Sterritt Creek.
Yeah. Yeah, and
so Long Shoal shut down because of the tornado.
Yes, that's correct. Which, for those that hadn't seen, you can go back on the Truman Lake Fishing Intel Facebook page. We did a little video along the 7 highway corridor all around Z, and I forget the date. What was that? Like the second week of May? I can't remember when that came through.
About 2 weeks ago, right?
Yeah, it wasn't that long ago, but it was pretty utter devastation for. Now, I don't think any lives were lost.
No, there was a few injuries, but
yeah. But man, it looked like a tornado went through it. Just trees, huge trees, just like a toothpick snapped over. Kind of crazy and scary, but glad to hear that everyone seems to have made it out okay, and just with damage to property, which is a bummer, but a lot better than a whole bunch of loss of life for sure. So anyway, you guys, if you're coming down for the weekend, you're probably still gonna see some of that. The crews were out. This was really cool. That following day when we were going through, the crews were already out working hard. Seeing the community come together was really, really neat to see. So anyway, with all that, I want to kind of get into some of the fishing here. It's been pretty stinking good despite the water being up high. Sounds like the hybrids have been a little scattered. We'll get into that. But consistent. You've been finding them.
Yep.
Let's start with crappie. Sean, what's the latest on the crappie updates? What are people doing to catch them? And has the catching been good? Have you had to work for them, or what's the deal?
Lately, it's been really good for the past week to 2 weeks. Just phenomenal. The bite's been great. You get a jig anywhere close to them, and they are smoking it. But now, with this last set of rain we got and the water coming up, they are getting scattered. I fished a main lake flat, a ditch, a bluff wall, and about a mile back in a pocket as far as I go back, and caught fish in all those places today just to get our 75 fish on 2 trips.
Wow.
But the water clarity is the best we've seen it this year. Even with how dirty it is in the other areas, with it backing up to us and the water coming up, it's really cleaned up that upper Grand area around Buck Salt and above. But now you have to keep that jig about 1.5 to 2 feet above the crappie for them to eat it. If you get it right on their nose, they look at it and just run. They don't. You just can't let them really see what it is. I went to more of a monkey milk and clear colors today, just to make sure they couldn't get a good look at the bait itself. But I'd say the most popular bite right now has been in the main lake ditches. any flat that just has some deeper water going through it with a tree row. A lot of our fish today were 20 foot of water to 30 foot of water, and they were all at 16 foot deep, except for the ones in the back of the creek, which were right on bottom and whatever depth we were in. But we only caught 15 there, and I said, okay, this ain't gonna work. But just a tip I got from another guy, and it didn't pan out as well as I thought it would.
Yeah. Is there any crappie left in the lake? I've been seeing a lot of pictures here recently of big old piles of fish from these group trips. I was just curious.
I mean, there's a couple. During those group trips, last Friday, I fished an area that was probably a 50 yard circle, and just went around and around for 2.5 hours and caught 60 fish. They just kept restacking. The people that get upset on those photos just don't understand what they're talking about. The deal is, we all take a trip almost every day, and they get upset when all the fish are piled together. Each person's still taking home their set of fish. It's not like one person's taking all 180 fish and hoarding them.
I think a lot of those people aren't realistic to the amount of fish we actually got.
Oh, yeah,
they
they come see
with
it
what
once.
we have, yeah.
But I mean, and those guys come down once or twice a year, and that's the fish they eat on. It's not like, someone that lives here in Clinton can go out every week when they want a mess of fish to eat.
Yeah.
It's not getting wasted like people think, and it's not hurting the population.
Yeah. Well, to fill our viewers in a little bit on the backstory, there's 2 or 3 big group trips that you guys had, like 2 or 3 days in a row,
where there was 165 fish.
Yeah, where you had 8 anglers and massive piles of fish, and these guys typically will post their clients' fish lined up on the board, and like you said, you see that no one bats an eye, but everyone together, it kind of went nuts on the social media, and we just kind of find it a little humorous at times because there's commenters that'll get on there holier than thou, rants about depleting the resource, and a lot of them are out of state. They have no idea the kind of fishery Truman is, but it's just kind of a little inside joke.
You gotta take so many fish out a year, it's going to wind up being a stunted lake like others in the area that we've seen.
Yeah.
It's, if there's an issue with the population, then conservation will step in.
Yeah.
And they haven't in years.
Yeah.
And the guides will tell you. I mean, we're the first ones to tell you that, hey, we think there's a problem with something. I mean, just like paddlefish, we're the first ones to step in and say, hey, there's some issues. Someone needs to look at it. We're not going to hurt our own populations to the point where we can't catch fish to make a living.
Right, right, absolutely.
So we're going to be the first ones to step up and go, hey, there's a crappie problem. If there's a crappie problem, to save our jobs, really. I mean, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. So fish have become scattered there in the mid to upper Grand a lot more here in the last couple of days.
Yep, a lot more scattered. We were catching 2 to 3 fish on a tree at times, and just find them very congregated in areas. And now I'm having to move a couple times throughout the day to catch limits, or just get on a huge flat and just cover the whole thing. Yeah, putting the trolling motors on high and hitting the brakes as quick as I can when I get up to one.
Are you finding the fish so in all these different areas? For people that maybe don't have a live scope and they're just going out and just dipping trees, is there enough fish on the trees right now, or are they kind of scattered even out around the water column, not on the structure?
The majority of our fish today were out roaming as they were last week. The difference though last week is if you're in that area I was in, they were all the same depth, 8 foot, 12 foot of water. You could have went spider rigging through there, 2-pole trolling, but just not a whole lot of timber that I've been finding. You go through 10, 12 trees, you find one tree with a fish on it, and you never know what depth it's going to be at. Yeah. So without a live scope right now, it's going to be a little tough. As soon as they start dropping this water, it's going to get the fish set up a lot better on some of those current areas. G10, G14, they cut through by buck salt, all those will hold fish as soon as that current gets going.
Yeah, I gotcha. How's the crappie cranking going?
It's pretty good. Lot of fish the last couple days with the water coming up. They've been scattering, but if you move around enough, you can find them. They've been moving deep. Typically, I like my fish in that 10 to 15 range, and they've been in that 15 to 25 foot range. So I've been having to use some trolling weights to get myself down there to get to the fish. But when you find mass amounts of bait, you're going to find the fish right now.
When you say trolling weight, what's that look like? Is that just something
it's just a clip with